Sometimes I set this up and then I realize after I set it up, oh, you're an idiot. You got one here, two over there, three over. I got to carry this camera around. How could you not love Gator Ford? How could you not love Gator Ford? Keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Man, nice. I'm looking at the camera. Heading on, good, good, good. Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders, welcome back to the channel, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me, and you know this by now, or at least you should. For those of you that have never been to this channel before, welcome to you as well. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant, and the name of this wonderful channel is Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle. Before I say anything else, guys, I want to take this opportunity to wish Michael Accord a happy birthday. Michael Accord is the GM of Gator Ford, and is gracious enough once again to host one of my practice sessions here. And speaking of one of my practice sessions here, guys, I want to welcome you to practice session number 104. 104, guys. This is my fourth time here at Gator Ford. And just to let you guys know, I'll be back here again in September for another 2 practice sessions. And that's what Mike is all about. Like, I met Mike at Daytona Bike Week, and I was talking to actually somebody else about coming to Florida and me saying, I just need a location. And Mike just happened to be standing there. He goes, listen, I got acres of room. And so I want to shout out not only Mike, but his staff that moved a bunch of trucks from this parking lot. And it was hot out here too. They were working. So I want to definitely thank them for accommodating me and us here at this practice session. Now, if this is your first time to this channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, so the practice sessions that we do out here, guys, first of all, let me say, this is Angel. Angel's my 2019 Road King Special. These skills are not just for touring motorcycles or heavier motorcycles, but people get put in check more with a heavier motorcycle just because of that. So we don't use that 5-letter word out here, and that 5-letter word is heavy. We don't use it because then that's all you can focus on is the weight of the motorcycle. But once you actually properly learn how to ride one of these motorcycles, when I say these motorcycles, I mean any kind of motorcycle, you slowly start to realize that the weight of the motorcycle is irrelevant. Okay, guys? All right. But anyway, the practice sessions that I do, it covers, I have 12 different things set up out here, but again, there's no pressure. So nobody that's coming out here today has to feel compelled to do everything out here. Because if you're not ready to do something, you're not ready to do it. It's all about building confidence out here, right? Education and confidence through positivity, no arrogance, no egos out here. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff, so we can come out here and learn regardless of how long you've been riding a motorcycle, period. Regardless of how many miles you put on a motorcycle. None of that's relevant, because if you've never practiced slow speed maneuvers, when we get out here and practice slow speed maneuvers, a lot of the times, how long we've been on the bike, it all dwindles down and we're kind of all on the same level. But there's different skill levels out here. I don't want you to think that the only people that come out here to these practice sessions are people that are really struggling. It's a practice session, right? And it's a perishable skill. So you come out here regardless of your level of skill to practice, to hone your skills, all right? So that's the goal here today, guys. It's gonna be a hot one here. I have, I think, 11 people scheduled to come out here today. So I'm looking forward to it. Listen, guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. If you're interested in seeing any of my other practice session videos, just click on the playlist that says practice sessions. All right, I also do private lessons because I know everybody doesn't want to be in a group or on YouTube. And some of those private lessons are one-on-one, and sometimes it's a group private lesson, sometimes it's a couple private lesson. So if that's something you're interested in, go to my website, click on where it says private lessons, and you can find out more information there. All right, guys, as we always do, when the preloaders and VI preloaders get here, I'm gonna talk to them, find out where they're from, what their name is, what kind of motorcycle they're riding, how long they've been riding a motorcycle, more important to me, how long they've been practicing slow speed riding, and what they rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed maneuvers. As always, that number's for them and them only. Like I said before, a lot of people have never practiced like this, so they really don't know how to rate themselves. And if they're still here at the end of the day, I'll ask them the question again, see if there's any change in that number. And listen, there's no pressure for there to be a change. I'm not asking that question for somebody to say, hey, I'm better, thanks, Rob. That's not what it's about, right? It's about finding a starting platform, a starting number, and then going from there. All right, guys? All right, love you. Let's do it. What's your name?
Charles Adams.
Where are you from, Charles?
Northern Virginia, right outside of DC.
Oh, did you ride here?
Yes, I did.
How was that ride?
It was a good ride, except the interstates were like parking lots in certain places.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. A lot of slow riding.
Yeah, getting you ready,
Yes.
How long have you been riding a motorcycle?
I owned one in the mid-'70s. I did not get an endorsement until 2019.
Wow.
But I did not buy a bike until just last year, May of 23.
What are you riding today?
I'm riding a BMW R18 Transcontinental.
What year?
2023.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know it came out in 23, but everybody doesn't know. That's why I asked.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Okay. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
I would say only since I owned the bike.
Okay.
Owned the motorcycle.
Okay, cool. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
With a lot of thought, I'm going to say maybe a 3.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure too.
All right. What's your name?
Noel Hernandez.
Where are you from, Noel?
I'm from Port Charlotte.
Okay. That's in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been riding a motorcycle?
About 7 years.
What are you riding today?
Indian Roadmaster.
What year?
22.
Okay, so I don't know if you know, and I don't know if you guys know, but when it comes to tab performance, it's hard to beat them on our Indian Roadmaster. Oh my God.
Yes.
They just sound amazing on a Roadmaster.
They do.
All right. How long have you been practicing slow speed riding?
I have not. Like, I had this bike for over a year now.
Okay.
But I have not. I mean, every time I pull in a parking lot, but haven't really practiced.
Okay. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
4 maybe.
All right. Pleasure to meet you, Noel.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Frank D'Angelo,
Where you from, Frank?
Fort Lauderdale,
How long have you been riding a motorcycle?
6 months.
What are you riding today?
Indian Challenger.
Big sexy on the side of it too. And I told Frank, I said, I saw that and I just smiled because since 1990 whatever, I still have the same email address, and that email address is bigsexyrob30@aol.com. If you don't believe me, send me an email. I guarantee you're gonna get a response. All right. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed, what would you give yourself?
2.
Pleasure to meet you, man. What's your name?
Tom Murphy.
Where you from, Tom?
I live in Clearwater, Florida now, from New York.
Okay. Oh, from New York. Okay, what part of New York?
Just outside New York City, New Rochelle.
Okay. How long you been riding the motorcycle?
On and off since I'm 22.
Okay.
Upper 60s now.
Okay. What are you riding today?
I have a Harley, a 2022 Street Glide ST.
Yeah, nice looking bike. Nice looking bike.
Thank you.
How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
A little under a year since I first discovered you.
Okay, good. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Well, my first class here, I came in at a 2, left at a 4. I'll start at a 4.
Okay. Good to see you again, brother.
You too.
What's your name?
Charlie,
Where you from, Charlie?
Miami.
How long you been riding a motorcycle?
Seriously, about 1 year.
Okay, what are you riding today?
Road Glide Special, 23.
Beautiful. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
About 1 year.
Okay, good. So pretty much the whole time you've been riding.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love to hear that. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
I'd say like a 3.
3.
3 or 4.
Guy, I'm letting you know right now, I'm predicting this is a sandbag. We'll see. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Likewise.
Yeah. What's your name?
Scott McCaff,
Where you from?
Orlando.
Orlando. Okay. How long you been riding the motorcycle?
Oh, since I was a kid, but I took a break for a while. Then
Okay.
now I've got back into about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. What are you riding today?
Gold Wing,
What year?
2019 DCT.
Okay. Hi. It's kind of like a motorcycle. I say it all the time. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
I used to do it a lot earlier. I haven't done it a lot lately. This is actually the most difficult of all the bikes for me to do the slow speed on.
And we're going to
It's
talk
just
about
a little
that.
weird,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's something to do with the weight or what. But that's why one of the reasons why I'm here is to see some of the other bikes I can do it no problem.
Yeah,
This is a little more trickier.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
6, 7, something like that.
Okay. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Yeah, man.
Based on what I saw last night, I think you're sandbagging. I don't think you're at 3. What's your name?
Jason,
Where you from, Jason?
Orlando.
Okay. How long you been riding the motorcycle?
2-3 years.
What are you riding today?
2016 Victory Vision.
Nice, nice, nice. That motorcycle definitely makes a statement as it's pulling up. 'Cause the fairing is like.
Yeah.
How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
2 or 3 years.
Okay, I love to hear that. Yes. So you've been practicing pretty much as long as you've had the bike.
Even longer.
Okay,
I
beautiful.
borrowed my friend's bike before I had a bike.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, if you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best slow speed, what would you give yourself?
Give myself about 3.5 to 4.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Thanks. You too.
All right. What's your name?
Matt Riggins.
Where you from, Matt?
Born and raised in Missouri, but I moved to Florida a couple of years back.
Okay, good. How long you been riding a motorcycle?
Roughly 6-7 years.
Okay, what are you riding today?
2004 Victory Kingpin.
Nice. How long you been practicing slow speed riding?
Off and on a little bit.
Okay, okay. If you had to give yourself a rating 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow speed, what would you give yourself?
I'm going to be conservative and give myself a 4.
Okay, okay. Good to meet you, brother.
Yeah, good to meet you too, man.
All right. All right, guys, it's already heating up out here, so we're going to get started. Let's just get started. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, good morning, guys. Welcome to practice session number? Oh, you're good. Okay. He said 104. Is everybody here okay being on YouTube? That always works out. That's good. All right. Is everyone here familiar with my channel? Everybody knows what preload and keep it loaded means. Everybody knows what the friction zone is. Oh, that's outstanding because we're going to be living in it today. Living in the friction zone. Everybody know about the push-up penalties? He knows. Milton knows. Well, I'm going to say it anyway. Keep in mind the push-up penalties are voluntary. It's just listen, motorcycle riders are extremely, well, let me not say extremely. Motorcycle riders are lazy, complacent, and zero accountability. What am I referring to? The laziness is putting the bike in neutral while it's still rolling to come to a stop. The complacency is sitting in neutral at that stop. And the zero accountability is anytime there's any type of accident, it's never their fault. Always somebody else. Always a cager. When 99% of motorcycle accidents are rider error, whether they know it or not. And they don't know, but that's why I'm glad you guys are here. Education and practice is the opposite of fear and low confidence. And that's what the goal is here today. So I need you all to know, whatever you're here for, when I do a private lesson, I ask everybody, what do you need help with? Sometimes people tell me something specific, and sometimes people say just everything in general. The second answer is usually the best answer, because you don't know what you don't know. And so if they tell me, which most people tell me, Rob, I just need help with U-turns. Negative. We always go all the way to the beginning and start with the basics. Smooth, short starts and stops, right? That's what we're going to be starting with today, okay? All right. What's going on, Mike? That's the man. Happy birthday, man. Mike is the GM of this dealership. Gracious enough to always host these practice sessions. And not just host them. I mean, the guy is just aces, man. And the only reason I ran into him, I was in Daytona Bike Week talking to somebody else that was trying to get me to come to Florida. And I told him, listen, I just need a location. Miami, people keep telling me to come to Miami. As soon as I mention the location, crickets, right? Mike just happened to be standing there and he was like, listen, so all of those white trucks parked along the back, these guys were out here yesterday, they moved them all. He allows me to paint the lines on the ground, so If a cone, when I come back here in September, which I will be back here in September, I don't have to worry about measuring anything. So just aces, man. Every time I come out here for a practice session, he sponsors spots for people. He's sponsoring spots for some people tomorrow. Just an awesome guy. And I say it all the time. If you have the opportunity to give back, however you give back in your life, that's always a blessing. It's going to come back to you. All right, sermon over. Okay. So I watched all of you guys roll in today. As a matter of fact, where's he at? Where's Carlos? I was in my hotel room. I heard a motorcycle. I looked out the window. I saw a black road glide pull up, and I'm just watching him because I know he's coming to this class. So I'm watching him. I'm like, not bad. Then he comes here and rates himself like a 3 or a 4. He's sandbagging, but it's okay. I expect that. All right. So the push-ups are just to give you accountability. If you do them or not, it doesn't matter. How you do them doesn't matter. It's just a matter of saying, okay, I did something. I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that. Here's my penalty for it, right? And the 10 push-ups don't have to be 10 straight. You can do a push-up every 5 minutes. I don't care. Ass could be in the air, your knees could be on the ground. It's not about the push-ups. It's about what they represent. So with that being said, front brake. If you squeeze that front brake during the slow speed maneuver out here today, that's 10 push-ups, okay? Rear brake only today while you're in the slow speed maneuver. Everybody clear about that? Beautiful. Putting your foot down. If you put your foot down when you feel your motorcycle falling, that's a 10 push-up penalty. And every time your foot tops the ground, that's another 10, 20, 30, right? Because we don't need our feet when the bike's moving, right? Everybody understand that? This includes when you first start to move. If you start to move and you tap the ground with your foot, that's 10. Because again, you're showing you don't trust. Speaking of trust, do we all know? Well, first of all, there's no stupid questions, guys. I want you to know that. So if you have a question, ask it. Because even if you think it's dumb, trust me, somebody that's watching this video anywhere in this world wish they were here to ask that same question. So just ask it. Does everybody here know what keeps the motorcycle upright at slow speeds? What you got, Jake? He said power to the rear wheel. Somebody give me a better answer.
Sufficient power to
Yes.
I missed one word.
Yes. One word. Sufficient power. And that word is so important because if my motorcycle is falling and when it gets right here, I open my clutch this much, that's sufficient. If I wait this long and open it the same amount, no longer sufficient. It's going to keep falling. So we have to have this conversation and understand what keeps the bike up. And the reason we got to have this conversation is because the biggest obstacle that we're facing, anybody out here have any physical disabilities that will prevent them from operating this motorcycle out here today? None. That's usually the case. So that lets us know this is our biggest obstacle. And what we have to do on these motorcycles goes against our hardwiring, right? So I ask all of you guys a bunch of questions in the beginning. Every question's for a reason. First question is because I need to know your name. So that's what, but other than that, I'm asking you how long you've been riding. Nobody out here said I've been practicing 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I ask you that because I need you to be patient with yourself. Whatever you're doing out here today is going to be based on the time you've put in to practicing. And it's got to be dedicated time. Like it can't just be, I did a couple of circles, then I went on a 3-hour ride. It's not the same. You don't need cones to practice, but they definitely help, right? Every time you ride, you can be practicing. That's supplemental practice, right? You need the cones because the cones give you confinement and it gives you a chance to, like I say, date your motorcycle. Everybody just wants to get married to the bike. I bought it, I'm gonna go ride it. And I'm gonna come back and say, listen, I rode 1,000,000 miles, but I can't make a U-turn, right? So stuff is backwards, right? We do stuff backwards. Okay, so we know what keeps the motorcycle up. Sufficient power to the rear wheel. We gotta get it in there. Practice is the only way. Our instincts and our bad habits, that's what we're working against. Very difficult things to get over, but we can do it. It just takes time. We all learn differently. We got all different skill levels out here, all different bikes out here, right? The rules don't change. We're gonna talk about that DCT. Because Scott told me he was fine on it. He's been riding since, what'd you say, 6? You've been riding since you were 6?
about 10.
About 10, you had a little break, all right. And he said, I had no issue on any other bike. He said, but this bike, he said, I think it's the weight. It's not the weight. It's the fact that you don't have a friction zone. Now this is a theory of mine. This is really just for Scott. But if anybody else that's watching that rides a motorcycle with an automatic transmission, my theory is 98% of motorcycle riders don't know how to ride in the friction zone. And when I say 98%, it might be higher than that, right? That is not an exaggeration. So if I have a company, most companies are going to make products that appeal to the masses. That's why you don't see products left-handed only. No, you just gonna have to work it out. We making stuff for right-handed people because that's the majority. So Honda said, well, shit, if people don't know how to use the friction zone, just take it away. Make a scooter, make an automatic transmission. And it sounds good. And when you're out on the road, it's great. But when you slow down, that's when you go, oh, damn. Now, if you never knew how to ride in the friction zone, you're not missing anything. But once you learn how to ride in it, you go, oh God, I need that. Just for the precision. So just keep in mind, your motorcycle, not really designed to ride in the friction zone, and Honda won't even warranty it if you do. So they didn't really think that through. They should have made a disclaimer about that. I guess they didn't know Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle was going to be around. And people were going to say, hey, I want to be able to ride my motorcycle confidently at slow speeds. So of course, your way around that is light inputs on that throttle, and you just have to be on that rear brake, right? I mean, having that clutch is just beautiful to be able to really control this thing with confidence going very slowly. And I've also heard being in second gear might be better than first gear on that bike. In any case, of course, it's still possible. All right, so we're going to be living in the friction zone today, guys. We're not duck walking the bike. 1 foot or two. As soon as your motorcycle starts to move, your feet shouldn't be on the ground. 5 steps I want you guys following all day today. And I know I'm going to give you the steps, and you're going to say, screw you, Robert, I'm not doing it, and that's fine. But I do know that when people don't follow these steps, they run into problems. What's always step number one? What's always step number one? I know you don't ride. Maybe you sit next to him while he's riding. What's always step number one? Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Even if you have a nice Gold Wing or a nice Indian or 24 Harley that shows you, do it anyway. Muscle memory, that's what we're trying to build here today. And the number's not always right. And why that's important, you're going to start to understand that it's like anything else. The less you know, the more you worry. That's about anything, including the motorcycle. The more you know, the less you worry about. And riding becomes a much more pleasurable experience. So why is it so important being in first gear? So now if you always start out with both your feet out and you're in the wrong gear and the bike stalls or anything like that, none of that's a big deal because you're going straight. But once your skill level goes up, your options go up. So now instead of that starting out straight with the handlebars straight and feet down, now if you want to go right here, you're just going to turn the handlebars from a stop and let the bike fall into that turn. That's where if you're in the wrong gear, you'll have a problem. So make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Step number 2. Cover the rear brake. Does everybody here know what covering the rear brake means? You don't know? Okay, good. How many of my videos have you watched?
Just a couple. As well. Probably you had showed them to me about a year.
Yeah, because he told me he should. Are you subscribed to my channel?
Huh?
Are you
I think so.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Okay. All right. You said you got to leave. No, I always like having somebody here that's not too familiar with this, but it's good that you watch some channels so you can get familiar with some of the terminology because that helps. Okay, covering the rear brake means, guys, I want you to actually rest your foot on the brake. Okay, don't apply pressure to it, just rest your foot on it. That's covering it. Now, can you rest your foot on your brake without applying it? You could. Same thing? Okay. And on the Gold Wing, you can too. I know Gold Wing, okay. All right. Rest your foot on it. Why do we cover the rear brake? Because we're going to be slow dancing with the motorcycle today. That's what I like to see. I put out a video recently saying, when's the last time you slow danced with your motorcycle out in the parking lot? And what I mean by that is everything that we do on the motorcycle has to be smooth and graceful. Everything, right? When you're riding at a higher speed, you should still be smooth, but it's not as big a deal. And the example I like to give is, if his wife's on the back of his motorcycle, which she will be today, and she shifts her weight while he's on the highway, that's not a huge deal. But if she shifts her weight out here when he's going 5 miles per hour, oh yeah, he's gonna feel that. Because make no mistake about it, we are on 2 wheels. So we already talked about what keeps the motorcycle up. That's sufficient power to the rear wheel. With power, it always wants to stand up and go straight. Everybody clear about that? It always wants to stand up and go straight. Without sufficient power at slow speeds, it always wants to fall, period. So we cover the rear brake because that's the only brake we're going to be using today during slow speed maneuvers. If we need it, our foot's already there. So we're more inclined to be gentle with it than going to it. You're going to smash at it, right? And when you're going slow, anything that we do that's herky-jerky is going to disturb the motorcycle. Most of us don't like the way the bike feels anyway going slow. Start adding this to it, it feels even worse. So that's why we cover it. And any inputs that we put into the rear brake today, smooth. We don't need a lot. We're not doing this either. We drag the brake when we need it for the most part. And if you do need to do this, it's subtle. Nothing crazy, all right? Same thing with the clutch. We're not doing this today. All right, so that's why we cover it. That's step number 2. Step number 3, in the interest of saving time, I'm just gonna give it to you. Actually, Tom, give it to me. I love it. So I do have a cricket sound. I'm gonna put it in right here when I edit this. Because I know Tom knows it. Every time I do this and I just pick somebody, it's a hamina moment. It just happens. Preload the throttle and keep it loaded. Everybody knows what preload and keep it loaded. You already said yes. Preload it. That just means bring your RPMs up above idle. Now, we all have to preload. Why do we preload? We preload because if we just open our clutch with no power, it's going to stall, right? Now, keeping it loaded. Why do we keep it loaded? Well, if you ride a Goldwing, or maybe even that BMW Transcontinental, I'm not sure, but the K-Series BMW definitely, they have a high, smooth idle. So once those bikes get to moving, they can pretty much do slow speed maneuvers at idle. But if you ride a Harley Davidson or an Indian, they idle like this. Boom, 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 boom. And on my Road King, it's a digital, I can see the digital, you know what it's called? Tachometer, yes. And the numbers, up and down, 970, 1030, 970. I don't want to do anything slow speed while the bike's doing this. So I have to create what those bikes have. That's me keeping that throttle loaded. So that's my lifeline in my head. I'm listening to that. Can I get through all these exercises with my bike at idle doing this? Yeah, I could, but I don't want to. So better safe than sorry, especially if you got somebody on the back. Get those RPMs up. Not too high, just high enough. Now keep in mind, as soon as you open your clutch, whatever your preload was, it's going to go down because your bike is asking for power. It's going to draw that power from your preload. So if you give me a half-ass preload and it goes down, you can still stall. And that's why the first things we do out here today, everything is straight up. No leaning, no turning. So we can work out all of that stuff because there's going to be somebody out here that just wants to give me a little bit of preload. Those are the people that want, by the time we get to U-turns, it's a problem because whatever you do out here, guys, you're going to do out there. You're already doing it. I know it. So that's why I'm going to be a stickler about certain things. Head and eyes, front brake grabs, all that stuff. Because again, there's no pressure out here, guys. I want you guys to know that. I got 12 things scheduled for you today. You don't have to do all 12. This is all about building confidence, period. The goal is when you leave here to be a little bit better than when you got here. And sometimes that little bit better is just having a better understanding what you need to practice, right? So if you get up to exercise number 4, and by the way, all of these exercises build on one another. If after 4 you go, all right, I'm done, that's perfectly fine. You can go back and practice the other stuff on your own. But if you hit a cone, put it back exactly the way it was. I painted it out, so it's easy, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't put the cart before the hearse. Leave your egos right here in the shade so they're not too hot. You can pick them up later before you leave. There's no egos here. There's no judgment here. This is an each one, teach one environment. So if you have something, share it. It's not always about being right or wrong. Sometimes it's just a better way of doing things. And because we all learn differently, the more input you can get about anything we're doing, the better. So that's why I tell people, watch my videos. Don't skip around. Watch the videos in their entirety, right? I tell people, don't expect to get 100 on the test if you only studied 40% of the material, right? Watch other channels, but you gotta practice. You can't just watch videos, you gotta practice. All right, step number 4. Slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. And I want you to release it slowly because I want the bike to take off slowly. Now there's an asterisk to this. A lot of times when people open up the clutch slowly, they immediately feel falling. Then you see the foot come down. So if you want to get past that, open close. Who's not familiar with open close? Everybody's familiar with open? Oh, you're not. Okay, good. You familiar with open close? What's open close? That's right. With the clutch. Open, close. Don't open it and close it. Open, close. You just want to pick the bike up and get it past that moment of falling. Okay? I'm going to demonstrate that for you guys. And then step number 5, as soon as the motorcycle starts to move, guys, pick your left foot up. I don't want to see this, because I see it all the time. I understand you're not feeling comfortable yet, so I'm going to keep my foot on the ground as long as possible. As soon as it starts to move, your foot's no longer needed. I talk about balance all the time. I'm going to ask you, Scott, how relevant is your balance to keep this bike up at very slow speeds? 0 is none, 100's a lot.
It just all depends. Like I said, with this bike, it's a little more difficult. I'd say probably 50.
50%? What do you say? Well, come over here, man. This is important. You need to hear this stuff. How relevant is your balance to keep the motorcycle up at very slow speeds? 100's a lot, 0's none. Or something in the middle.
95%.
95? Anybody agree with 50? 95? 0? Yeah, almost 0, even on your bike. Because even though you don't have a friction zone, as soon as it starts to move, it's moving with power. We already agreed sufficient power keeps the bike up, not our balance. And so once the bike starts to move, we don't need our feet. So these are the things that if I put it on the written test, all of you guys would pass. But we got to get our brain to tell our muscles to do it. So we're going to be in our feelings today. I say this all the time. What you do is going to be highly based on what you feel. So as soon as you feel something you don't want to feel, which is falling, clutch is the answer. This is the answer. Sufficient power is going to make that bike stay up. And it's that same sufficient power that's going to allow you to do, well, we're not doing anything extreme out here. This is not a competition, right? But if you wanted to do something extreme, like the top of the snowman, the same way you're going to open your clutch to do anything else is the same way you open your clutch to make that U-turn. You're just leaning the bike over more. But of course, you have to really trust that that's the answer. Everything's okay. Drag a little bit of pressure on the rear brake, all right? That's the answer, okay? All right. So now that we know that, we're going to move on. And I'm looking forward to it. First thing we're going to be dealing with, guys, stopping smoothly. This is the bread and butter, guys, to everything on the motorcycle. That first exercise that we're going to be doing, it's forcing you to be in full control of your motorcycle, period. Most motorcycle riders, when they come to a stop, well, first of all, motorcycle riders love speed. I just saw a video recently. I hope the guy's okay. He's riding on the highway. Actually, I saw it last night. He's riding on the highway. A car clips him. He falls off his motorcycle. His motorcycle goes on to, he was in the left lane. His motorcycle goes onto the shoulder. And it's just going and going and going. Then it's even crossing over the lanes, going. It'll go until it runs out of momentum or power or it hits something. So that's why motorcycle riders love speed. It doesn't take any technique or skill from you to keep the bike up. It doesn't need you. It can stay up by itself. That exercise, you're 100%, it's all on you. And I'm looking for smooth inputs. Smooth takeoff, smooth stop. And when you stop your motorcycle today, all day, and even after you leave here, I want your foot coming down like this, or in stride, like that. That's it. If it comes down any other way, I want you to tell yourself that's unacceptable. If I stop my motorcycle like this, what was happening in that moment?
Panicking and overreacting.
No. That's it. The bike was falling. And so a lot of motorcycle riders will come to a stop. They'll keep speed as long as they possibly can. Then you see the landing gear come out. And then when they feel falling, time to stop. That's why it's such an abrupt stop. Front brake, 2 feet out. Sometimes you see this. No technique involved in that. right? That's why a stop looks like that. That's why so many motorcycle riders hate stopping, especially two up, because the more weight, the more exaggerated that is. When in actuality, this is what I'm talking about, education. What do we say keeps the bike up at slow speeds? How do we get sufficient power to the rear wheel? Give me something else. What comes after preload and keep it loaded? Friction zone. The reason I don't mention the preload is because 3 comes before 4. Anytime we're going to engage the clutch, we preload first. Anytime. Because if we don't, we can still stall, even while we're moving. If you don't have sufficient power, if you just open the clutch, right? So, if we know power keeps the bike up, and at the end of that stop, I'm falling, I have to introduce power, because it's the only thing that's going to keep the bike up at slow speeds. So this way I'm going to lose the gold wing. Because in order well, not really. He's just going to have to be on the brake at the same time as his throttle. We're kind of doing the same thing, but it's not as much of a pull. So when I get to the end of that stop, I have to preload it a little bit. And I have to go, this is the counterintuitive part. So people go, huh? I have to go back into the friction zone while I'm braking. Brake, 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 brake. And I'm going to stay in the friction zone all the way until I put my foot down. Then I'm going to put my clutch in. So what happens is some people are fine coming to that stop, 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 stop. They pull the clutch in too early. And that's why they feel that. Because remember, the slowest you're ever going to go is when you're stopping. And right before that stop, if you take the power away even a second, immediately, it's going to want to fall over. And that's why the stop is like this. So when you stop your motorcycle, your goal is for it to always be straight up. It's a goal. It's not going to happen every time. But it's an awesome goal to practice. Because when you bring it, every time I do a private lesson or even a practice session, when somebody does it, they go, I felt it. It feels good when it's done right. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Ding! That's how you want that stop to be. Or like I said, now the reason the in stride one helps is because sometimes people are doing stuff out of order. They're not coordinated. Like you'll see them stop, they'll put their foot down and then put it down again. Bike is still moving. Or they'll put their foot down and end up like this. So that usually means they're not applying enough brake pressure or they're going too fast. So what I find is if I go in, and again, going into the friction zone at the end is not always necessary. But being the boss of your motorcycle is knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, right? And so that's a tool in your tool belt. If you don't need it, it stays in the tool belt. But the situation is always going to determine what you need. And that's where the accountability comes from as being a motorcycle rider. If you have an empty tool belt, your only options out there are squeeze and hope for the best when something goes wrong. And that's another thing we practice for. We practice for We practice for the unexpected. And if you really think with no practice that when something happens out there and it's an oh shit moment, that you know you're going to do something, you are sadly mistaken. It just doesn't work like that. You're going to go right to your instincts, which are wrong on a motorcycle. We're clear about that? Okay. So, any questions on the smooth stop? Beautiful. So, in that exercise, and that's what we're going to do next, warm-up exercise, smooth, short starts and stops. The cones are 15 feet apart. You're going to start at a cone, stop at the next cone. Don't pass the next cone. This exercise is also going to be working on situational awareness. You need to know how long your bike is, how wide it is, what it can fit through. This is part of the dating process. And if you have a motorcycle with a fixed fairing, you have no clue where that front wheel is. That's why it's important to practice, because just like you don't know exactly where the right side of your car is, it's judgment. You know what you can fit through. So if I tell you not to stop at that cone, at some point you got to practice this to know when I see this, I know my front wheel's here even though I can't see it. Okay? Cone to cone, guys. I don't want to see you do this, because that's what I see. Again, I want speed to take over. I don't want to be responsible. No, it's all on you. When you start, I want to see your handlebars doing this. I want to see you working it out. If your handlebars are straight from cone to cone, you're going too fast. That's all that's telling me. I love it when you guys do something and it looks like shit. I love that. That's how you learn. If everything was smooth, which most motorcycle riders have never been in a motorcycle accident, so that's why they won't be here. I don't need this practice. I've never crashed. All right. So I want you to work that out. Work that out. Smooth start, smooth stop. Any questions? Also, go ahead.
So I think I was explained to me before I bought my Gold Wing that like when I apply front brake, it also applies some rear, and if I do rear brake, I think it applies some sort of front. So is that going to affect me in any way on the slow speeding?
Okay, link brakes. Now, unless Honda did something crazy, pretty much all these bikes have link brakes. But with a Harley Davidson or an Indian, I think, the link braking doesn't kick in until you're going about 22 miles per hour. See, because they're smart, they know that makes sense. On a Gold Wing, no, they're both working at the same time. So sometimes the braking is very sensitive on a Gold Wing. But like I always tell people, we don't make excuses out here. That's why you got to date the bike first. We can get used to anything. So once you know the inputs that you have to put into your bike, then you'll be good. I might get on your bike and be like, God damn, because I'm used to pressing it a little bit harder, right? Okay. The other thing, guys, is braking. So the other issue is I'm going to be looking at your front suspension when you start, but more importantly, when you stop. I'm looking for very little compression. Very little. If I see this, no good. Again, we're being sticklers today. We're training, we're practicing. I want it smooth. What that usually means is you opened up your clutch and you didn't start braking until you got to the cone. Bam. That's always going to be abrupt. So as soon as you start, guys, you should already be starting to apply some rear brake. So the brake could be brake, brake, brake. It's gradual. Brake, 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 brake. And that's where this stopping process comes in handy because it can help you with your timing. Brake, 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 brake. And when your heel hits the floor, finish it off. They come down at the same time. And then you pull the clutch in. Smooth. All right? All right, I'm going to demo it, and then we're going to do it. See, so right there, I cut the bike off. So now I got no power going to the rear wheel. But I made sure I stopped out of speed. So the speed can take care of that. And now I just have to coordinate my rear brake to it. But that's not what we're doing over there. We're coming to a smooth stop under power. So when I ride towards you guys, listen to my engine. You're not going to hear anything because like most motorcycle riders, I'm going to pull the clutch all the way in. But right before the end of that stop, you're going to hear my throttle go up. I'm going to preload. I'm going to go into the friction zone. And based on what I feel, that's going to let me know how much friction zone I need. If what I'm doing is working out, I'm just going to stay right there. My hand's going to stay like that while I'm braking, 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 braking. The brake has to win that battle, okay? Just like on the Gold Wing. Clearly, the brake has to win the battle over his throttle, right? Your rear brake and your throttle work together in harmony. Don't make them fight. And the way we make them fight is we're giving too much rear brake while we're in the friction zone, all right? All right. First gear, cover the rear brake, reload, clutch, foot up. Clutch in, out, in. Slower I go, the more I'm gonna feel falling. Friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Smooth stop. There's no way I'm gonna stop the motorcycle that smooth, that slow, without power, because it's gonna wanna fall. So, like I said, if I'm coming out of speed, it's not a problem. Sometimes it's not just your speed. You could be going a certain speed, but the ground is uneven. It doesn't take much to throw the bike off because it's on two wheels going slow, it wants to fall. You have to apply that friction zone. So I talk about the coin rolling across the table all of the time. That's your motorcycle with no power to the rear wheel. Eventually that coin's gonna start wavering. That's your handlebar starting to do this. Then it's gonna fall. So if I feel my handlebars doing this, I'm not gonna panic. I'm gonna start opening my clutch to kind of stop that a little bit. If I still feel it, I'm gonna open the clutch some more. All based on what you feel, right? One last thing. I noticed that sometimes I'll see people, when they're not in the friction zone, they pull the clutch all the way in. And when they need it, now they gotta go back and find it. So to save time, guys, find out where your friction zone first bites and go right before it. Now your movements are so much smaller to get back into that friction zone. Because once you're in the friction zone, it's not a lot of space at all. It's not a lot at all. Our travel to the friction zone varies. But once you're in it, it's not a lot of space at all. I'm gonna show you guys one more thing, and this is just to practice smooth clutch control. I'm gonna ride toward you. I'm gonna shut the bike off. And I'm gonna try to bring it to a smooth stop with no brakes. I'm just gonna use the clutch, all right? Now I have to be smooth with that because if I open it too quick, the bike's gonna do that, right? This is just to practice clutch control. Clutch, 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 clutch. That's all that is. If you ever want to practice that, you can practice that. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it because you get to go faster. All right, any questions? All right, guys, and this is when this exercise is most relevant. Coming out of a stop. You got to straighten out those handlebars. The only way that's going to happen, you need power to the rear wheel. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, smooth stop, smooth start. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, smooth stop. All right, let's do it. Smooth start, smooth stop. Not bad. What's step number 2? Cover the rear brake. So when you started that first one, you had your foot on the ground. The stop was good though. Nice. Give me another one. All right, one more. Good job. You can park back over there. So when he's starting and his foot's coming behind him a little bit. So I'm gonna talk to him about that. Trust and believe. Beautiful stop. Give me another one. Little less speed. Good. Get that foot up. Good. Yeah, yeah. See the difference? And right there at the end, the bike's falling to the left. Stay in the friction zone all the way until you stop. Then put your foot down. Good. Good. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, rear brake, friction zone. All right. So if you still feel falling, that means you got to go in more. Okay, let's do it again. Good, 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 good. There you go. Look at the difference. Give me another one. Good, 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 good. Friction zone, friction zone. Brother, beautiful, man. All right. Wow, what a huge, as soon as it's done right, you see the difference. No falling, straight up. All right, too much speed, a little less speed. All right, give me another one. Too much speed. So right now you're opening the clutch and leaving it open. Open it, close it a little bit, then at the end start opening it back up while you're braking. Good. Open it, close it a little. Good. Start opening, preload, preload, preload. Excellent, stop. Still speed though. Start a little slower. Go, pull it in. All right, one more. Close it. Good, good, good. Work it out. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. That last one was beautiful. And he was giving himself like a good push at the beginning. The handlebars were kind of straight. That's why I wanted him to slow down. I need you to feel the discomfort and then work it out. Good. Foot came up right away. All right, a little less speed. Good, good. Friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. So what you're doing, the reason the bike's doing this is because you're applying the brake really at the end. Brake, 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 gradual. Preload. Foot up, good. Right there, it's falling to the left. Stay in the friction zone to the end. Good, good. Start braking, 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 friction zone, friction zone. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. One more. You're good, you're good. Good, start braking, 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 braking. One more. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, 10 push-ups, front brake.
Yeah, front brake.
Good, foot up, good. All right, too much speed there. So you're opening up the clutch and you're leaving it open too long. Open it, pull it in a little, work that out. Then when you get near the end, start opening again. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Preload, foot up. Good. Stay in the friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Now see right there, you see how you're like this?
Yeah.
As you're stopping, that's how your hand is. You got the clutch all the way in, so nothing to hold the bike up. Stay in the friction zone all the way until you stop. Then put your foot down.
Okay.
Let's try that. Good. Good. Friction zone, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. There you go. Much better. Do that again.
That feels weird.
Oh, yeah. You said it feels better. Foot up. Good. Much better. One more. This time when you open the clutch, close it back so you're not going as fast. Open it. Open it. Open it. Foot up. Open it. Open it. Close it a little. Now start opening. Start opening at the end. Yeah, you got it now, right?
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Cool.
So sometimes, that's why you can talk about this all day. Once you get on the bike, start doing it, that's when it's like, ah, and you always know when it's right because you feel it, and I see it. All right, this is Milton. Wow, too much speed, front brake grab, 10 push-ups. All right, so Milton, you're going too fast. Open the clutch and close it right back. I need you going slow. You're going fast, stop. Open the clutch slowly, move slowly, start braking gradually. Smooth stop. Pull it in. Yeah, see what you're doing is you're not doing the friction zone at all. You're opening the clutch and keeping it open the whole time. Open it.
Find the friction zone.
Yeah, open it, close it a little bit so you can go slow in the friction zone. And stay there until you stop and put your foot down, then pull it in. Foot up, pull it in. Same thing, you're just keeping the clutch open. You gotta close it back a little bit, you're going too fast. Close it, close it. All right, now start opening at the end. The other thing is, when I say close it, don't close it all the way, just pull it into a lower part of the friction zone. Because at the end of that stop, you should be in the friction zone. All right, try it again. Close it. Start opening, friction zone, rear brake, rear brake. Yeah, and right there at the end, you're pulling the clutch in, that's why it's falling. All right, we'll work on it, man. So we gotta get Milton to step outside of his comfort zone. And right now, his comfort zone is speed. So he wants to go fast from cone to cone. It's not what this is about. All right, nice and easy on that rear brake. Good, good. There you go. Still got a little bit of dive on the front suspension. And I'm looking at his fingers on the clutch. All right, so the reason you're feeling, because I'm looking at your clutch hand, you're pulling it in while the bike is still moving. Right at the end, it's falling. So when you're moving that slow in the friction zone, keep your clutch right where it is. Let the brake win the battle, and when it stops, then pull the clutch in. Good, pull it in a little. Good, now start letting it out, rear brake, rear brake. All right, let's try it again. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Good, good. Start braking, stay in the friction zone, stay in the friction zone. You're still yanking the clutch in. Keep the clutch in until your foot hits the ground, then put the clutch in. Good, start braking. Much better. Huge difference. Old habits die hard, so I'm not, expecting everybody to get this on the first try, but already I see progress. Nice. All right, don't put that foot down too early. Johnny got his wife on the back just like he did last time we were here. Good. Friction zone. Outstanding. One more. did outstanding before, and I expect the same again. All right, so the last one was good. That one you felt falling. Time to stop. You stop when you're ready to stop, not when you feel falling. Give me one more. Good. Good. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. There you go, brother. Good job. All right, smooth stop. All right, too much speed. Too much speed. Too much speed. You're going too fast. That's why your handlebars are straight as an arrow, and then your stop is like this. Nice and easy. Preload. Get that foot up right away. Next cone. Preload's low. And you're passing the cone. Don't pass the cone. One more. Good, good, good. All right, so remember, that's not a landing gear. Right now, it's stopping you from falling. Stay in the friction zone all the way until you stop. Plus, your preload's too low. Give me some more preload. Preload. Keep it loaded. Preload. Hold it there. Clutch. See, because it's too low. Wow, way too much speed. And too low, your bike is almost stalling. Okay, you got to preload that throttle and keep it loaded. All right. Reload. All right, guys. So remember him. I told you, whenever somebody refuses to give me more preload, not a big deal when you're going straight. Once we start turning, that's when we have a potential for running into problems. Nice. Easy on that stop. Again, he's got no friction zone. Ah! Try it again. Okay, better. Try to hold that throttle all the way until you stop. Like, I want you to brake, brake, brake while you're still throttling. When your foot comes down, then come off the throttle. Try that. Nice and easy. I'm just trying to smooth it out. I'm aware he doesn't have a friction zone. Ah, see? Already that's better. Already that's better. One more time. Good. Start braking, start braking, start braking. Yeah, that's going to be tough for you. Good job, man. Like I said, it seems like a great idea, but that friction zone, it just works wonders when you're on two wheels. All right, way too much speed, Chuck. Nice and even. Get that foot up on the board when you move. Foot up. All right, too much speed. So when you open that clutch, open it, close it. Don't close it all the way.
When you open it, is it open all the way? Or
No, definitely not.
into the friction zone?
Open, close. Because if you open it,
Momentarily in the zone.
yeah,
Okay.
we're only going 15 feet, so you can't open it and keep it open that long. It's too much speed.
Right.
So open it, close it into a lower part of the friction zone.
Okay.
And then when you get to the end of that stop, you might have to start opening it again. Rear brake at the same time. Foot up. Too much speed, too much speed. Open, close, Chuck, open, close. Keeping it open too long. Close it. Yeah, too much speed. Reload. Open the clutch. Open it a little, close it a little. Good, close it a little. Yeah, right now I'm looking at your clutch hand and I'm saying close it a little. And you're like, because I don't like the way this feels. You want speed to help you. Try it again. You don't need to keep it that far open. Close it a little. Good, 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 good. All right, it's better. We got to work on that. Good job. All right, guys. I'm going to talk to them about this, and then we're going to move on to exercise number 1, smooth stops from speed. All right. Any questions on that exercise? You know, and just as I expected, there's some people that are, you know, because that's your instinct. That's what makes you feel comfortable. We have to step outside of our comfort zone a little bit today, right? I need you to be comfortable being uncomfortable because I need you to understand the only thing that you're dealing with, that we're all dealing with, is fear. That's it. Because throttle, clutch, rear brake. You're gonna hear, I don't care who's talking about this, you're using the same things. So the only thing that we need to get over is the fear, because if I know this is gonna make me okay, I don't need to be going fast. So some of you guys were keeping one foot out, or Tom, you were starting out with your foot coming like this. Again, even if it's slight, I'm gonna call you on it because it's letting me see I don't like the way this feels. So I'm gonna keep my foot down as long as possible, then I'm gonna pick it up. Everything else you did was fine, Tom. It's just that, pick it right up. So when you pick up your foot, it comes up like this. The goal is for you to almost seem like you're one with your motorcycle. And everything you do should be smooth. You don't look stressed. When you're doing stuff like this, or that's stress. But again, I'm not expecting all of that today. I'm just letting you know that's the goal. That's the goal. All right. But like I said, that's all on you. All on you. Look good. Now with the Gold Wing, yeah. I told him to hold his throttle longer while he's braking. Let the brake win. That was the smoothest stop. It's going to be a little bit different with him. I get it. So if your stop's not that smooth, that's fine. It is what it is. But with the rest of yous, yes. A couple of you guys, as soon as you did it, I felt it. Because instead of that falling, instead of your bike being like this at the end, you stopped like this. It's just a great feeling, and it looks good. Let me tell you something, how backwards this is. If you roll up someplace, any place where motorcycle riders are gathered, like I told you guys to park like this. I tell you to park like that for a reason. One, it saves space. Two, it's forcing you to turn left, come to a smooth stop. That's what I would like. That's what I'm looking at. If you pull up anywhere, make that 90-degree turn, which is exercise number 4, come to a smooth stop. People are gonna be looking at you like this. That's how backwards things are. Where if you just straight, stop, smooth, it gets attention. Because it's showing you know exactly what you're doing. You're the boss of that motorcycle. You can't be the boss going fast. Going slow, yeah, you are the boss. The boss is always in control. The boss has higher levels of responsibility. This is what it is. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. All right, next exercise. This is the exercise that drives me to drink. Smooth stops from speed. So now, you guys are gonna be right here. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go down there. You guys are gonna ride toward me. I'm a stop sign. I want you to go up to second gear. Then I want you to brake. Initially, front brake, because you're gonna be going faster than 10 miles per hour. Front brake, front brake, front brake, downshift. And then I want you to transition at the end of that stop from the front brake to the rear brake only. And I can't be any more clear about this. When you stop at me, I want you stopping the way you were stopping over there as far as the speed. So even though you're coming out of speed, don't stop coming out of that same speed. I want the responsibility to be on you. So if you come to stop at me and your handlebars are straight the whole time, going too fast. So I tell people it's not about speed, and I still get somebody flying at me. I don't care if you fly at me, but use that front brake to slow that bike down to an appropriate speed. Well, when should I transition, Rob? You can transition right before you put your foot down, as long as it's smooth. So even coming off that front brake, you don't do that because the bike's gonna go like that. Transition off the front brake, rear brake, because again, when I'm riding out in the real world at speed, I'm all front brake. I don't touch my rear brake unless it's an emergency braking situation. Outside of that, front brake, front brake. As soon as I slow down, off that front brake, rear brake only. The purpose of this exercise is to get you in the habit of doing that transition, knowing when it's appropriate to use the front brake and when it's appropriate to use the rear brake. Remember, it's not about what's possible, it's about what's probable, what makes the most sense, okay? So can I do a bunch of stuff with my front brake? Yes. It will not be smooth or as smooth. It just won't be. It's too much stopping power, too much. Plus, you see how I told you guys to stop? If you don't want the bike to fall, you have to go into the friction zone a little bit. Imagine trying to do that and use the front brake. So even the way the bike's designed, it's showing you that's not what you're supposed to be doing at slow speeds. But if I got my foot on the brake, I can easily keep the throttle loaded, smooth stop, now pull the clutch in. All right? All right, I'm gonna demonstrate this just because I have to now. Somebody always, I'm guaranteeing you it's 11 of you. One of you I gotta go with the numbers. It's gonna screw this up, right? You're gonna stop at me like this. If you stop like that, you already know. Sometimes you don't know. That's why the good thing about it being recorded. Downshift, front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake. Transition, preload, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. Smooth stop. As I'm coming to that stop, again, I'm basing on what I feel. I'm in the friction zone, I'm in the friction zone. And when I feel, okay, I can put my foot down, I might start pulling the clutch in a little bit, I might. But for most of you guys, I told you, stay in the friction zone until you put your foot down, then pull it in. Because what I was seeing is I'm stopping, clutch in. It don't take long. As soon as you pull it in, it's gonna start falling. Questions? You sure? All right. Did you use the front brake at all? Because I didn't see it. You did?
I think I did. No?
Park right here. Cover the rear brake. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, good. We got some clouds coming. It could be good, could be bad. Not all clouds are bad. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. A little bit of, he just did a slight amount of preload at the end. That was nice. He slowed down appropriately, but easy, easy. Yeah, too much speed. Front brake grab right here. 10 push-ups. Cover that rear brake. Cover that rear brake right here. All right, this is Jason. Too much speed. All right, a little bit too much speed, but you're good. Like I always say, it's not about speed. It doesn't matter if I say it, demonstrate it. Somebody's gonna come fast and start braking late. See all this speed right here? I don't even need to say anything, do I? Too much speed and you didn't keep that throttle loaded. We'll talk about it. Talk over here. Cover that rear brake. Not about speed, guys. Right here should be on the front brake. Good, good, good. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Good, right here, front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake, squeeze it in, squeeze it in. There we go. All right, see that at the end? Friction zone to the end. Good job doing the stopping. Now, as he was approaching, the braking was good. It was good. Then at the last minute, that abrupt stop, no friction zone. That's why. He felt falling, time to stop. All right. Same thing, felt falling, time to stop. Got to use the friction zone. That's 30 more push-ups. Your duck walked up to that stop. I'm telling, I see everything, man. Just front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake. Ah, you ran the stop sign. So right there, not enough braking at all. I'm the stop sign. It's supposed to be stopping at me. Front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake, front brake. All right, park right here. All right, guys, let's talk about it. Didn't I tell you? It never fails, man. This exercise, people screw it up. I said, I'm the stop sign. Some of you went past me. Some of you came off that front brake way too early. That's why you're not slowing that bike down. The goal was to go second gear, front brake, and then transition to the rear. And I told you, the transition could be at the end of the stop. And the goal was for you to stop going that speed that we were going over there. Most of you weren't. You're going too fast. The faster you go, all you're doing is putting more pressure on yourself at the end to stop smooth. So start slowing down early, problem avoided. And then some of you guys were trying to stop with momentum, not the friction zone. And so when you felt falling, time to stop. Negative, all right? But this is where we get that out right here. I want a smooth stop all day. All day. That's your goal, all day. Tell me your name again. Noel. Noel came around here. I don't know what it is. I got like a sixth sense for duck walkers. I had my back to him, and I was like, sure enough, we're not duck walking. Remember, challenge yourself. All right, but we're coming up on that exercise that covers that. Any questions on that? Beautiful. All right, next exercise. We're gonna do a slow ride. I'm gonna walk, slow ride. I'm gonna walk, you're gonna ride. You're gonna ride next to me. You're gonna ride at my walking pace. Don't pass me. No rear brake, no front brake. This is all clutch. So for you guys that were, Chuck, where's Chuck? Yeah. So in that exercise, I kept telling Chuck was opening his clutch and keeping it at that same level the whole time. So he's going too fast. So I said, Chuck, you got to close the clutch. Open it and close it. He said, whatever, Rob. Did it again. I said, Chuck, I implore you, please, open, close. But Chuck was like, I don't like the way that feels. So he kept keeping the clutch open. In this exercise, if you do that, you're going to pass me. This is where open, close is. Open, close, and work it out. You had that issue too, Milton. Open, close, not open, close. Because once you're going too fast, you can't slow down because I took away the brake from you. You can't use it. Don't even cover the rear brake. You pass me, that's it. It's over. So you guys are going to line up exactly where you lined up before. And then I want you to ride to me at a normal speed. Again, we're practicing you stopping smooth. This ain't the slow ride. This is just you riding to the slow ride. Once you stop, I'm going to say, are you ready? Yes. Let's do it. I'm not going to be walking like this, so don't worry about it. I'm going to walk at a normal pace. Questions? Let's do it. All right. You ready? No rear brake. Let's do it. All right, rear brake, smooth stop. Excellent, man. Excellent. Park right there. Same way, facing this way. That was excellent. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. All right. Make sure it's not too much friction zone because you're going to want that brake to win. All right, you ready? No rear brake. All right, let's do it. Pull it in. Too much speed right away. You're already passing me. All right, use the rear brake. Come to a smooth stop. All right. Yeah, so I want you a little less speed when you come into the stop.
I forgot to put the gas. I forgot to give myself a little throttle.
Gotcha. All right.
You said no brake on this, right?
No brake. Don't even cover it. Okay, you ready? All right, let's do it. Good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, smooth stop, rear brake, rear brake. Good job, man. Again, he's got no friction zone. I almost said friction zone, rear brake. Not applicable. Beautiful stop. Ready?
Yep.
No rear brake. All right, let's do it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, rear brake, smooth stop. That was a close one, man. Almost passed me. Oh my God, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, you ready? No rear brake?
No brake at all.
That's right. All right, let's do it. Pull it in. Good. Pull it in. Pull it in. Ah, already passed me. Too much clutch. All right, rear brake. Come to a smooth stop. Okay, you're good. See how these stops on smooth, guys? We're gonna talk about that. But his stop was butter smooth. All right, ready? No rear brake. Don't even cover it. Don't even cover it. Put your foot flat on the footboard. You're covering it, and you're passing me. Smooth stop. All right, go Paul, good stop. Good, I hear the friction zone. Beautiful. Something's loose in there. You hear it rattling?
Yeah. It gets hot.
It's the exhaust. All right, no rear brake. Don't even cover it. Foot on the footboard. There you go. You ready? Let's do it. Uh-oh. Ah, you passed me. Smooth stop with the rear brake. Smooth stop. There you go. Good job, man. He watches the channel, so that's good. He waited before he just stopped to get that bike leveled out. Beautiful. Ready? No rear brake. Don't even take your foot off the brake. There you go. All right, let's do it. Good. Uh-oh. Oh, that sucks. Smooth stop, rear brake. All right, good job. All right, you ready? No rear brake. And I knew that Johnny would be good at this because he does open close all the time. I'm gonna talk about that. Smooth stop, rear brake. Good job, man. All right, ready? First gear? Yep. Reload. Clutch right before the friction zone. No, I didn't say foot up. Wait for the command. Foot up. Clutch. No. That's 10. All right, you're good. All right, you ready? First gear? Covering the rear brake. Preload. Clutch right before the friction zone. Right before it. Wait for the command. Foot up. Clutch. All right, so now be careful when you pick your foot up. Make sure it's in first gear, because it looks like it looks like your heel hit it in the second. Clutch right before the friction zone. Foot up. Clutch. Good job. Smooth stop. There we go. Nice, Scott. So what's step number 2?
Step number 2, well, first gear, cover the brake.
Cover the brake. Every time, the same, when you're down there, same thing. When you're starting with 2 feet on the ground. I know that's what you're used to doing.
Yeah.
5 steps before you move the bike every time. Make sure you're covering that rear brake.
Gotcha.
All right, first gear, covering the rear brake.
Cover the rear brake,
Preload. Clutch right before the friction zone.
Yeah.
Head and eye straight ahead. Foot up. Clutch. See all that speed you're coming up with? Nice and easy, too much speed. All right, first gear, covering the rear brake. Reload. Keep it loaded. Clutch right before the friction zone. Pull it in a little bit. Pull it in. Just a little bit, right before the friction zone. Pull it in a little. Pull it in a little. Pull it in a little. See how it's moving? You're in the friction zone. Foot up. Foot up. Clutch. Don't put up your foot until I tell you to. Make sure the bike's not in the friction zone. Foot up. Pull the clutch in a little, you're in the friction zone. Pull it in. There you go. Foot up. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Pull it in a little. Foot up. Foot up. Clutch. One more time. Nope, you're moving. Foot up. Clutch. All right, pull over there. All right, smooth stop, baby. Nope, nope, nope. Good. Foot up. Clutch. Good. Smooth stop. Smooth stop. Good job, man. All right, so we're just gonna have to, I'm just gonna say foot up. You don't have a friction zone to go into. Don't forget the smooth stop.
Always put out, you said though to give us some RPMs before I even lift the foot up, right? Or
Say it again.
preload it, right? We'll already have RPMs going into the bike before I lift my foot.
Yeah, but the problem is if you preload, it's trying to go.
Okay. So don't do anything, just lift up the foot and then after that.
And then throttle, yeah.
Okay.
Because if you preload while you're holding the brake, you're just making it fight.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you ready? Head nice straight ahead. I'm gonna say foot up when you pick up your foot.
Yep.
And you feel falling, throttle, smooth stop. Foot up. There we go, smooth stop. Nice, good job, man. That was beautiful. Smooth stop, friction zone, friction zone. Nice. All right, first gear. Reload. Keep it loaded. Right before the friction zone. Foot up. Smooth stop. Good job. All right, first gear, yes, covering the rear brake. Reload. Head and eye straight ahead. Clutch right before the friction zone. Foot up. Clutch, keep it loaded. You hear that? Almost stalled. Keep it loaded. Good job, man. Do it again. Foot up. Clutch, 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 clutch. I didn't say foot up. All right, preload. Foot up. Keep it loaded, clutch. You're holding it with the rear brake. Foot up. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Smooth stop. All right. First gear. Covering the rear brake. Reload. Clutch right before the friction zone. Foot up. Smooth stop. Beautiful, Johnny. Much better. All right, first gear, covering the rear brake.
I have trouble feeling, I don't know if it's the boot, but or it could be my foot.
Feeling what?
Feeling the lever for my downshift.
Gotcha. All right, preload. Clutch right before the friction zone. Keep it loaded. Foot up. Foot up. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Keep that throttle loaded, baby. That's all that was. Let's try it again.
Covering or holding it still on the rear.
Covering it. You hold it if you need to. If the bike's moving, I don't want it moving. Put up. Clutch, clutch. Good. Smooth stop. I'll take it. Head over there. Much better. All right, first gear, covering the rear brake. Reload. Head and eye, straight ahead. Foot up. No, make sure the bike's not moving. Make sure the bike's not moving. When you pick your foot up, make sure the bike's not moving at all. You're picking it up and moving. Pick it up when you feel moving, then open the clutch.
I'm sorry, say one more time.
Pick up your foot with the bike not moving. When you feel it falling, then open the clutch.
Okay. That's why people trust and believe.
That's right. Foot up. Clutch, clutch. Smooth stop. All right. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to exercise number 4. Right turns, left turns from a stop. Any questions on trust and believe? Now remember, guys, the goal is not for you to get everything today. It's to give you a better understanding of what you need to work on. So some of you guys, foot up, opening the clutch right away. Or, I see the bike moving. Remember, I don't want the bike moving at all. Foot up, when you feel moving, address it. That's relevant all day. Trust me, it is. All right.
We're doing each exercise only once this class?
Yeah, it depends on what it is and depends on who's doing it, right? Because again,
Got a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people and it's hot. So I don't want to keep you guys out here longer than you have to be. So that's why Milton, he tried trust and believe like 4 times, had to shut him down. He could practice that on his own. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. You can't do this and then say, when you coming back, Rob? September? I see you then, and don't do nothing in between. Gotta practice. All right. Welcome to exercise number 4, guys. Highest failure rate out of everything out here. Why? Because motorcycle riders like to ride straight and make slight turns. That's it. So if you talk about a turn like this is duck walk city. It's not even a thought to ride this. I'm gonna ask you, what's your strength? Right turns or left turns?
Left. Don't know.
Don't know. Don't know.
Left.
Left.
I think right.
Left. Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure.
I'm gonna say left.
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 I'm gonna assume left.
Left. Okay. Remember your answers. Because I find that when people answer that question, they're answering for U-turns. Because most people don't turn like this. And it's usually the opposite here. I don't know why. I have no idea why, so please don't ask. So, here are the keys to this exercise, being successful. Exercise number 2 was the slow ride. That's the speed I want you to incorporate as you're approaching this turn. Once it's time to turn, don't change anything. That's the issue. People go to turn, as soon as they turn the handlebars, they don't like the way it feels. Clutch in, bike down. Or clutch out, through the cones. I don't care if you hit a cone in here, guys, just don't put your foot down. Because now you're going to understand why I say trust and believe is always relevant and open close is always relevant. You're already hitting cones, huh? So as you're approaching this, guys, that's the time to get your speed together. Wherever you are in the friction zone, stay there. If it's a good speed, stay there. Your preload, keep it there. Listen to it. Your goal is to keep that steady. When it's time to turn, head and eyes, handlebars. Turn the handlebars, make sure you keep looking. Drag the rear brake. What does the rear brake give us? Correction, control. Correction and control. So can I do this brakeless? Yeah, I can do everything brakeless. But if I want it to be controlled, rear brake, light pressure. Like I told you, they work together in harmony. Power makes it want to stay up, but it also makes the bike want to stay up and go straight. It wants to go fast. I don't want to go fast. So I told you, at idle, at Harley Davidson shakes. If I throttle it, it smooths out. So if I let my bike just idle while it's moving and it's going like this, if I just throttle it, the shake will go away, but now I'm going too fast. That's why I have to friction zone and keep it loaded. That's the equivalent without the speed, just to keep the bike up. How much? Depends on what I'm feeling. Your goal, I get to you. Your goal when you make this turn is to be in the middle. That's the goal. It's not going to happen all the time.
The goal is what now again?
To be in the middle of that
In
lane.
the middle. Okay.
So when you make this turn, guys, go ahead before you forget your question.
You want us down the center, left or right, or?
Oh man, I should have made you wait because that's what I was just about to say.
Okay.
You could be wherever you want, guys. I'm not a competition. But my private lesson I had 2 days ago with Chanel, she was stopping on the line in the middle. And I brought it to her attention because sometimes you got to know, people are very hard on themselves. So I had to let her know how many people can't make this turn. And if they do, if they're making a left turn, they're all the way over here. Give themselves as much room as possible. And again, that's fine, guys. All that's showing you is you need to work at this. This turn, anything you guys do, riding straight in the friction zone, is way more difficult than anything leaning. Because in order to lean, you need speed. And when you have speed, you have assistance. But once again, this is all on you. This is all on you.
So is this more of control of the clutch or more control of
Both.
the brake?
Both.
Okay.
Absolutely, both. Because I'm not going to tell you, hey, do this brakeless. It's not a competition. You can do it, but now you're losing some control. So when I do that, I got to make sure that my approach speed is perfect because I don't have a brake to slow me down. And if I'm going too fast, and keep in mind, sometimes people think too fast is very fast. No, and stuff like this, too fast is just a little bit too fast. It's going to make a difference. So the good thing about the brake is now you don't have to be perfect with the clutch. Now we're always covering it because of that. I might open my clutch a little bit too quick. As soon as I feel that, correction. And as I'm going to make this turn, head and eyes, handlebars. Keep the throttle where it is, I hear it. Keep the clutch where it is, drag the rear brake, drag it. Now I can come off. I'm dragging it while I'm turning to keep me slow. I'm gonna demonstrate this for you guys. I'm gonna exaggerate it. When I go to the right, I want you to look at my foot on the brake. If it's moving, very minimal. Because for the most part, I just want to find a spot and keep it there. All right, we're gonna do this 3 ways. Going left, 3 ways going right. The first time you guys come through here, straight through. Treat this like a gravel road. No leaning. If you lean even a little bit, I'm gonna call you on it. It means you're going too fast. Second time we're gonna stop. Wherever you wanna stop in this box. When I practice, I stop here. Sometimes here, sometimes here. 3 things determine the radius of a turn. Give me one of them. 3 things determine the speed. Number 1 contributing factor. Give me another.
Your angle.
Handlebars, correct. It's a good guess, but no. Lean angle. Those are the 3 things that are going to determine the radius of your turn. So when I stop right here, I don't have to incorporate any of those things because I can go straight and still make this turn. If I start here, I got to start with the handlebars turn. I have to introduce handlebars. If I start here, what do I have to introduce? Lean. How am I going to introduce lean? Turn the handlebars. Trust and believe. I got to let the bike fall into that lean and catch it with the clutch. But that's why I don't have my clutch all the way in. I'm right before the friction zone. So as soon as I feel like I need it, boop, I'm there. That's all the friction zone is, guys. It's once I find a good spot, keep it there and make small adjustments. It's another reason why when I'm in the snowman, later on when we do follow the leader, sometimes I'm down to like 2 people. I'll take them in the circles and we'll just go around. They might be able to make it once, but can they hold it? Hold it. Because you have to make, we're not trained on tracks. We got to make adjustments, right? Again, it's being one with the motorcycle. I feel something, I see something. What do I have to do? I address it. Any questions? We'll talk about it more as we go through it. But that's all it is. Let me demo it. Well, we got shade. Pay $1 for some shade. So this is the exercise where open close comes in. Right now in Milton, every time you start out, burst of speed, too much speed. That's not going to be your friend when it's time to turn. Because even going a little too fast, your handlebars are not going to want to turn like this. It's going to straighten out. First gear. Cover the rear brake. Reload. Foot up. That's a good speed right there. Right there. Head nice. Straight up. Straight up. Right in the middle. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, friction zone, rear brake. Smooth stop. Now I'm gonna go that way. Look at my foot on the brake. Reload. Foot up. No movement, just drag it. Find the spot, drag it. Friction zone, friction zone, friction zone. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Smooth stop. And then lastly, we're gonna stop, make the turn. Smooth stop. Foot up. Throttle is steady. Clutch. Rear brake. Smooth stop. So again, guys, what's keeping the bike up? Power to the rear wheel. Rear brake. Rear brake. Rear brake. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. All right. Questions? 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 So when we talk about balance, when I come to a stop, that's when my balance is relevant. That's why you see me doing all this shit, putting my foot out. But I waited too late. Didn't work. Trust and believe. I'm not putting a foot down. I'm at the point where it's not even an option for me, especially on bikes with footboards, because when my bike goes down, I could just keep my feet right there and it will just slide on the engine guard and the saddlebag guard. As soon as it stops, put my foot down.
I have a question. The second time going through, is it stop and go left again?
Yep. I'm gonna tell you when you go right, because I'm gonna put the camera the direction that you're going. Because when you guys go to turn, I want you to look at the camera, say cheese, and keep looking at it. Don't look down at the cones. You can look at them, don't stare at them. All right? Don't be obsessed. All right, let's do it. Good. Head nice. Head nice. Nice, Mike. Nice. Good. Slow down. Keep it slow. Head nice. Keep it slow. Look at the camera. You're looking at the cones. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Head nice. Nice. Good. Stay slow. Head nice. Look at my camera. And right there, he leaned over there. There's nothing but gravel over there. We got to pay attention to that. Head and eyes, big sexy. I shouldn't have called you that. Messed you all up. Good. Keep it nice and slow. Head and eyes, look at my camera. Keep looking at it. Keep it turned. Good job, man. Slow down. Keep it slow. Head and eyes. Easy on that rear brake. Good job. Good. Good. Keep it nice and slow. Head and eyes. Look at my camera. You're looking at the cones. You're going right to them. If you look at the cones, you're going to go right to them. Head and eyes. Good job. Good, head and eyes, look at my camera. Keep looking at it. Clutch, 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 clutch. Good job, good job. Nice and easy on that rear brake. Straight through. Good job. Beautiful stop. All right. Look at my camera. You were looking right there the whole time.
Okay.
Keep looking at it. Go to it. Reload. Are you sure you're ready to be this close? Because you could start. You could start all the way back there if you want. We ain't got nothing to prove out here. There we go. Preload that throttle. Open the clutch. Good, good. Close it a little bit. See, that's where open close comes in. Too much speed, too much speed. Good job. Trust and believe. All right, straight through. All right, little less speed, little less. Straight through, straight through. Slow down, slow down. Slow down. Head and eyes. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Yeah, just clutch. That's all, clutch. Good, stay slow. We're going straight through. Stay slow, slow down, slow down, slow down. Start turning. Head and eyes. Keep the clutch open. Yeah, you got to turn those bars more. The victory, baby. Smooth stop. Oh, beautiful stop. Left turn. Head and eyes on my camera. Good. Excellent. Straight through. Excellent. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Good. Stay slow like that. Stay in the friction zone though. Keep it loaded. Start turning. No, we're not stopping. All right. Too much rear brake. He's jamming the rear brake. So he's making a turn, but we want to be smooth. Slow down. We're going straight through. Keep it slow. Slow. Stay in the friction zone. Start turning. Keep it loaded. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Rear brake, rear brake. There we go. There we go. Straight through. Smooth stop. Beautiful. Straight through. Head and eyes on my camera. You're leaning. You're leaning. He's waiting too late to turn. That's why he's leaning. And too much speed, because you can't lean without speed. Straight through. We're going straight through. Straight through. Straight through. Clutch, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake.
Real brake?
Huh?
Real brake?
Too much rear brake.
Oh, too much.
You gotta open up the clutch. Reload! Slow down, slow down. We're going straight through. Straight through, slow down, slow down, slow down. Start turning. Clutch, clutch, rear brake. All right. So I'm gonna talk to him about it. I know it's hard to be smooth when you're nervous. His clutch hands in and out, in and out. It's not gonna be, every time it's not gonna happen. You're good. Make up for it right here, smooth stop. Head 9, start turning. That's another 10. Too much speed, too much speed. All right, right turn's next. Good, friction zone, friction zone. Ah, falling. Right here, you gotta at least be in the box. All right. All right, that last stop you did before was beautiful. Do it again over here. Keep that bike straight up. Keep power on that rear wheel. Before you started turning a little bit late, so that's why you lean, speed. Straight up. Good. Open to close it a little bit. See, you gotta turn those bars, hold that turn, straighten out, smooth stop. So you see what you did right there, right? That was the old you. You came around and pulled the clutch all the way in.
I forgot about the stop.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good job, man. Right turn's next. All right, smooth stop over here. Much better. I want to stop smoother though. All right, right turn's next. Straight through. We're going straight through. Slow down, slow down, slow down. All right, keep it in the friction zone. Keep it in the friction zone. There we go, baby. Good. Good. Stay at that speed. We're going straight through. Stay at that speed. Start turning. Drag the rear brake. Keep the clutch where it is. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Who would have thunk it? The DCT is showing everybody up. Smooth stop right there. Head nice. On the camera. Very nice. A little bit of a lean. I don't even care. Without a friction zone. That's phenomenal. Right turn's next, man. We're going straight through. Keep going at that speed. Slow down a little bit. Good. Stay at that speed. Keep the clutch where it is. Start turning. Let's back all the way up. We're going to keep the clutch where it is. And you're just going to drag that rear brake when you make this turn. Drag it, drag it, drag it. Don't stab at it. Just drag it. Good. Clutch. Clutch. We're not doing exercise number 3. Good, open that clutch up, open it, close it a little. There we go. Stay at that friction zone, good, good. Start turning, turn those bars, rear brake.
There he goes.
It happens. Par for the course, man. Why did it fall? You pull the clutch in. The only way is not, and you were making the turn fine. Then the bike started to fall. As soon as it started to fall, you got to address that as soon as you feel it. Open up the clutch, it'll go right back. That's all.
Yep.
Preloaded Nation, we identify and we retry. We've already identified it, now we're going to retry it, but we're going right turns next. All right, you got to slow down. Everybody knows how to ride fast. Even coming here.
Even when I started my very first class at Harley to get my endorsement, I had that same problem.
Yeah.
And that's 4 years ago.
Okay. We're gonna go straight through. Because right now in the rear brake, you're jamming it. That's the bike's going like that. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna stop on that end. But we're gonna approach slow and stay slow. All right? Let's do that. Preload?
So no brake at all?
No, we're gonna use the rear brake too. Right. But we're gonna drag it. You're stabbing at it. All right, cover it. Cover the rear brake. All right, preload. Clutch. Let it out slow. Pull it in a little. Pull it in a little. Pull it in more. Keep that speed right there. Keep it. Hold it. Pull it in a little. Start turning. Rear brake. Keep the clutch. Load it. See? Pull the clutch in. That's the only reason. All right. Right turns next. Nice stop. Give me another one over here. Look at my camera. Head nice. No, that was excellent, man. Beautiful. Right turn next. We're going straight through. Stay in the friction zone right there. Right there. Start turning. Rear brake. Nah, I said we're going straight through.
Oh, straight through.
All right, you can do it from here though. What is going on? That's like 70 push-ups you owe me. Slow down. We're going straight through. Slow down. Slow down. Stay in the friction zone right there. Rear brake. Start turning. Rear brake. Rear brake. Rear brake. Good. Slow down a little, just a little. Good. Stay at that speed. Keep the clutch right there. Rear brake. Turn those bars. Turn it. Tuck that elbow in. Excellent, man. Excellent. Straight through, Scott. Speed's excellent. Speed is excellent. Head nice on my camera. Beautiful. Go, slow down, slow down, slow down. No, not stop, just slow down. We're going straight through. Good, head and eyes. Drag that rear brake, keep the throttle where it is. Easy with the rear brake, easy. So that's clutch control right there. He sees that he's going too fast, even though he's on the rear brake. Got to pull the clutch in a little. Good, slow down, slow down, slow down. Stay at that speed. Keep the throttle loaded, start turning. Much better, but you're leaning. No lean. He's still relying on speed to feel better about himself. He doesn't need that. Slow down, straight through. Slow down, slow down. Head nice. Good job. Little lean, little lean. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Head nice. You're turning too late. You're looking at the cones. Gotta look at the camera, or at least in that direction. Good, stay slow, head and eyes, pull the clutch in a little, pull the clutch in a little. Too much speed, Chuck, too much speed, get that foot up. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Smooth stuff. I picked the right person to go first. Straight through. So last time you went through.
Yeah, what'd you say? I couldn't hear what you said to me.
As you're making the turn,
I came out of it.
came off of the rear brake. That's the only reason you're all the way at those cones. Hold that turn longer, hold that brake. When you're right in the middle, then straighten out. Hold that turn. Good, head nice, turn it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. There we go, now look where you are. Stop. No, straight through. Smooth stop. Oh my God, beautiful. It's like night and day, man.
Yeah.
All right, straight through. So remember, you might want to open and close just to get the bike to stand up. Because when you go to make that turn, sometimes your clutch is open more than it should be, and you pick up speed. I don't want you to pick up speed because then you start leaning. All right, so based on what you feel, that's what you do with that clutch. Good, foot up, clutch, clutch, start turning, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Easy with that throttle. Good recovery, good recovery. And again, that's just a matter of him working this out. Straight through. Excellent, Johnny. Straight through. Stay slow. Good. Keep the clutch where it is. Head and eye, start turning, drag the rear brake. Pull the clutch in, pull the clutch in. There you go. There you go. As soon as he pulled the clutch in, the bike corrected. I see when it's too much. If it's too much, he's already on the rear brake. We don't want to give it more rear brake. Smooth stop. Beautiful. This is like a metamorphosis.
Yeah, once you figured out how to get my arms going, it's a lot easier.
Absolutely. All right, straight through, nothing changes. Good. Keep the clutch where it is, rear brake, turn it, head and eyes. You're looking down at the cones. That's where you go. You look where you go. Looking at the cones and then jabbing at that rear brake. Smooth stop. All right, 10 push-ups, front brake. Straight through. Head and eyes on my camera. Good job, man. Really good job. We're going straight through. Stay at that speed. Perfect speed. All right, a little bit of rear brake. Head and eyes. Brake, brake. That's right. Trust and believe, baby. Too fast. Slow down. Pull the clutch in a little. Pull the clutch in a little. Head and eyes. Keep the clutch in. Keep it in. There we go. Look at that. As soon as he pulled the clutch in, his handlebars just went right to 90 degrees. Beautiful, straight through. Head and eyes. You're leaning, you're leaning. We're going straight through, slow down. All right, stay at that speed. Keep the clutch where it is. Start turning. Keep it turned, clutch, clutch, clutch. That's another 10, 20. All right. Throttle is still low. Problem is with this clutch, you're doing this. It's too much movement. When we start moving, we're gonna find a good speed. I'm gonna say keep the clutch where it is. And when you go to turn, keep the clutch where it is. Drag the rear brake. All right, let's do it. I got a half shell helmet. You wanna borrow it? Because this is suicide.
Yeah, I think I brought one with me.
All right, there, let's check that. All right, let's get to a good speed. Foot up, pull the clutch in a little. Pull it in a little, too much speed. Pull it in a little. Start turning, head and eyes. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. There we go. Smooth stop. Beautiful. Another smooth stop over here, take a break. Head and eyes. Hold that turn, hold it. Smooth stop, straighten out. Oh, somebody's been practicing, man. Take a break. Slow down. Straight through, straight through. Straight through. Oh, you're stopping. Okay. Smooth stop right here. Good. Stay in the friction zone. Rear brake, rear brake, rear brake, rear brake. Look at that. Hold that turn right in the middle. Smooth stop. Brother. Yeah. That was beautiful, man. Hold on. Let me make sure that got recorded.
Yeah.
10 push-ups, front brake. You got it, baby. That was just beautiful. Start to finish. I love to see that smile. Any questions? Exercise number 4. I saw a lot of good stuff in there, guys. A lot of good stuff. Like some of you guys, and that's usually the way it is, just need one tweak. Boom. Some of you guys had some trust and believe moments. You had one. Again, at that point, he's leaning. I don't care so much that he's leaning. He went to put a foot down and put it right back in. I love seeing that because that's the Morpheus moment.
Mr. Anderson.
Run, Neo, run. What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
He's beginning to believe. Yep, exactly. That's even the better way because, I mean, it's already getting in there. Muscle memory. The purpose of that is to not have to think about it. Just do it. And Jason, all I had to do was tell Jason when he's coming through, let's start out exercise number 2. Slow down. And once he was at that appropriate speed, I told him and others, just keep the clutch right there and drag the rear brake through this turn. Perfect. Next time he came around, now he's doing the same thing. And I noticed that he was going a little wide. So we got to always be conscious of that. He's already on the rear brake. So if that's happening, it's too much clutch. Pull in a little. I forgot who did it. I think it was you, because this is a speed demon here. He went to make this right turn. Finally, he's making it good, but he's wide. So sometimes we have to know when to pull the clutch in. So I told him, pull the clutch in. As soon as he pulled the clutch in, his handlebars did like that. Because with that power, it wants to go straight. So it's fighting you to turn it. Pull the clutch in just a little. Or depending on how fast you're going, pull it all the way in. Because sometimes if you're going really fast, you got enough momentum where you'll be fine. Because you're going to go back into the friction zone anyway. It's a momentary taking away of power just to get the bike back where it should have been. Questions? That was outstanding. Now some of you guys, I didn't have you stop. I just had you go through. Because if you ain't doing it going through, why would I have you try to do it stopping? Right? Again, this is about building confidence. You can work on that on your own. But just know that when you do it from a stop, sometimes people go, shoot, I don't want to feel that falling. So they open the clutch up too much. A couple of you did that. Then when it's time to turn, yeah, you're leaning because you're going too fast. That's where open close comes in. Open, close. Then open it back to where you need it as you're going. You make adjustments as you need it. Drag that rear brake. No questions. Beautiful. Where's Jason? Now, I said to Jason, I have a half shell helmet if he wants to borrow it. Because this full face thing, this ain't for practicing. It's too hot for that. So I'm just letting you know. It's counterproductive because, trust me, it's going to affect you. And Jason said, I think I'm just getting hot. Of course you are. So it's good to have a half shell helmet to practice, especially out here in Florida. And then when you hit the road, you can put your modular back on.
That was me.
That was you? Oh, that was you. I'm sorry, it was Scott. Okay. And you finally got hit. Okay, good. All right, remember, everything escapes through the head, so. All right, exercise number 5, guys. Now, we've already introduced turning. Now we're gonna introduce leaning and transitioning. That's what this exercise is. The cones are 15 feet apart. That's not that important. But the goal here, see how my motorcycle's parked? That's how I want you entering this exercise. But most people come like this. And they're hugging my cones all the way down. Everybody wants to be on a ski slalom. Because remember, I told you, motorcycle riders want to ride straight and make slight turns. It's not what I want. The only way I'm going to get in that position, I had to have started right here. And I'm not going to start from here and start turning early because then I'm right back where I don't want you. That's the angle I want. And that's the angle I want you to keep all the way down. Stay wide. If you stay wide, it's going to force you to lean and turn your handlebars. Transition. Transition. So, holding turns buys you space and time. We're going to all say that together. Holding turns buys you space and time. For the rest of the day, you're going to hear me saying that because it's relevant. So if I go to make this turn, if as soon as I get past this cone, I already start turning, I'm right back to this. When I should be out here, coming like this. So I gotta hold this turn. When I make this turn, don't come out here, hold it. Transition. All the way down, holding the turn, leaning the bike. Nothing extreme, right? I don't want you doing anything extreme. Transition. And when you transition, don't transition like this. Transition, transition, transition. Head and eye straight ahead. You guys are gonna be coming this way. Just look straight ahead at the camera. You can see the cones in your peripheral. Don't look at the cones, okay? Now, when I do this brakeless, but I'm still covering the brake just in case I need to make a quick correction. All right, any questions? Demo. So remember, if you're going too fast, you can't turn the bars. If you're going too slow, you can't lean. Transition. Transition. All right, the way I did it coming back, see, no power. The way I did it coming back, that's what everybody wants to do. Whee! No, listen, the purpose of these exercises is not just to get through them, it's how you get through them. And when I go wide, it makes it easier for me to do it without a break because I got all this extra space and time. Questions? Nice. I prefer you went a little bit wider. See, wrong angle. Nice. Keep it loaded. Go out wide, go out wide. There we go. Good. Beautiful. Nice transitions. Throttle, steady. Excellent. That was beautiful. Again, it's not about speed. Well, it is, but I don't have to be going fast. Staying wide puts you in check. Good. Good correction. There you go. Beautiful. There you go, nice and wide. Clutch! Oh, I keep yelling out clutch, there's no clutch. Transition a little quicker. So he's got to stay on that throttle. As soon as he feels, uh-oh, he's got a throttle, but rear brake, so he's not going too fast. Nice. Transition. Transition quicker. Now remember guys, we don't want to go too wide. He's very wide here. Good. Transition quicker. Transition. Good. Transition. There you go. All right, Chuck. Good. Started out nice and wide. Good. Head and eyes straight ahead. Transition. Go wider. Transition. You're hugging the cones. All right. Head and eye, straight ahead. All right, you got to go a little faster. Too slow, too slow. Too slow. And that throttle's too low. There we go, start out wide. But don't commit to it early because then you're right back where I don't want you. But he's good. Slow down, slow down. Good. Good job. Good. Transition. Transition. Easy. Too much throttle. Watch that clutch. Yeah, he hit the throttle, but he's in the friction zone too much. So that's why the bike jumped forward. Good. Nice. Smooth like butter. Very nice. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. There we go. Nice. Very nice. Good. Transition. Head and eye, straight ahead. You're looking at the ground and the cones. Head and eye, straight ahead. Good. Hold that. Transition. Good. Transition. There you go. He was just holding them a little bit too long.
I just can't do it without dragging the brakes.
I know. It's okay. He said he can't do it without dragging the rear brake, and I understand. There's no friction zone. Nice, Jason. Good. Transition. Good. Transition. Not in the friction zone enough right there. Head and eye, straight ahead. Good job. Head and eye, straight ahead. Keep it wide, keep it wide. Slow down. Going too fast. He's trying to go through it without going wide, so he can't lean. He's hugging the cones. I'm sorry, he can't turn the handlebar, it's going fast. Head and eye, straight ahead. Transition. Good, transition. Transition. Good. Much better. All right, guys, we're going to move on to exercise number 6, the infamous U-turn. Any questions on a single serpentine?
That was a lot harder than it looks on video.
Yeah, so that exercise is important. If that's something you feel any struggle with, practice it, because that's the exercise. Who here practices emergency braking? Okay, whatever. All right, so we know both brakes, full potential of the brake. What are we doing at the same time? Downshifting, right? Because sometimes the braking is not going to be enough. Can I turn my handlebars like this at 50 miles per hour? No.
And probably not a good idea.
Exactly.
You also can't downshift too fast, so I should lock up the tires. If I have to stop.
Well, if it's emergency braking, you ain't doing no 5th to 3rd. You just downshifting because you got to stop that bike. Exactly. Sometimes that's not going to be enough. And if you don't practice that, you're not even going to have the presence of mind to swerve. You're just going to be like, squeeze, 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 hope for the best. Please don't hit it. And sometimes one swerve is not enough. Might have to swerve and then swerve. That's where that comes in. You need to be fluid with these motions. You look really good. You look good, especially at the end. You were holding those.
I looked good.
Huh?
I didn't feel like I looked good.
Well, so, and that's funny. There was a guy in Pula, he said in the practice session, he felt like he was like, then when he went and watched it, he was like, oh shit, no. It was nothing like that. So you were the opposite. You don't feel like it was good. It was good. You were going nice and wide. That was good. And so were you. Sometimes you started going too wide, right? And like you said, you have to use the rear brake. Yeah, you do.
I couldn't figure out how to. The first time I did it, I tried it without not touching the brakes. I could not keep control of that bike.
Like I said, correction and control. Okay. That's what it's going to give you. It's not a competition. So if you, that's why it's there. Okay. Especially since you don't have a friction zone. Yeah. Use it. Okay. All right. So enough said about that. Some of you guys would start wide, but sure enough, you start coming in early. So now you're at the angle I don't want you to be at. And Chuck, just too much speed. You're hugging the cones. Keep it wide. All right. Infamous U-turn, guys. Exercise number 6. 27 feet. That's what you have. Don't worry about the length. It's irrelevant. If you want to make a turn within 18 feet. Not necessary, though. 18 foot or less in that box. Keys to success, guys. Just like over there. Huh?
If I attempt that, I might drop the
Then don't attempt it. Again, it's extra. But listen, it's a good tool to have. When you guys are approaching this U-turn, just like I told you before with exercise number 4, but of course now you're going faster. Get your speed together on the approach. Preload, I'm listening to it. I like the way it sounds. I'm going to keep it there. Friction zone, and make no mistake about it, friction zone's pulling you through this. I don't want a momentum U-turn. Don't swoop through it. Let the friction zone pull you through it. So, as I'm approaching, friction zone, I like it. I'm gonna keep it there. Turn my head and my eyes. Turn my handlebars. And commit to the lean. Right away, guys. I ask for this all the time. And I don't get it. I'm always looking at the light under your bike. Head and eyes, handlebars. That's what I see. And then, when you get to the top of the U-turn, you look at the outside cones, and you see you're not gonna make it. Now you lean. That's why you turn so wide. I don't need a lot of lean. I don't need a lot of handlebar turn. If you commit to it right away, 24 feet is all I want from you. Right? That's all I want. You have 27. All I want is 24. How do you get that? Head and eyes. And when you turn your head and eyes, turn them. And when you turn your handlebars, turn them. And as soon as you turn them, commit. And hold it. Like people get in there, they start slowing down. Now you can't lean, it feels scary. Hold it. Drag the rear brake. Hold it. Hold it. And when you come out, I want you coming out straight. Don't come out facing this way. And now that I've told you this, if you come out any way other than straight, you know in that moment, you're not in control. And we'll talk about that. Okay? Questions? We're gonna do it 3 times. Left, 3 times right. First time, straight through. Second time, I'm gonna have you stop. Then we're gonna do a U-turn from a stop. Lastly, stop, U-turn, smooth stop. All right? I'm gonna give you a demo and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Listen to my throttle. Steady, that's the goal. Sometimes it's gonna fluctuate, but my goal is to keep it steady. Head and eyes, I'm gonna commit right away to the lean. And I'm dragging the rear brake. That's enough speed. Head and eyes, handlebars. No rear brake, no rear brake. All right. Head and eyes, handlebars. Hold the turn. Then I'm gonna ask you to do it from a stop. Smooth stop. Now you can go straight first before you turn. You don't have to go into the turn right there. Then, Smooth stop. How fast am I going here? Smooth stop. How fast am I going? Okay. 7 to 8. 4 to 5, it's going to fall. Any faster than 7 to 8, it's going to be wider. I'm only showing you that because I want you to know I'm not asking you to lean the bike over that much. And you can go faster. If I lean that much, lean equals risk. The more I lean, the more margin for error I lose. So if I pull the clutch in, it's a little bit too much, it's going to fall. If I open it up a little bit too much, it's going to go wide. All I want you guys to do is keep it where it is, head and eyes, commit to the lean. Like, the commitment is what people are nervous about. But as long as you keep that clutch where it is, you saw what I did, 7, 8 miles per hour, it's not going to fall. So if you keep that power sufficient, steady, commit to the lean, you'll be fine, right? Of course, I trust it now. Once you trust it, all of this shit just becomes so much easier. Because that's the only issue that we have. We don't trust the feeling of, oh, we don't trust it straight up. I damn sure don't trust when I tell you to start leaning the bike, right? Just keep the power steady and you will be fine, right? And again, I don't care if you hit a cone, don't put a foot down, all right? But I'm like, if you ride a Harley Davidson, let me show you something else. Watch yourself, I'm going that way. All right. I meant to say if you're riding the Harley Davidson touring motorcycle. Three things determine the radius of a turn. What are they? Speed, handlebars, lean angle. Didn't I just make an 18-foot U-turn straight up? So that's just some information for you. You don't have to lean this bike a lot as long as you commit to the lean right away. Nothing scraping, none of that necessary if you want to do the 18 feet on your bike. Just commit to it right away. Now it's going to scrape on that side, that's the kickstand. On the right side, it's not going to scrape. Any questions? All right, let's do it. No head and eyes. No head and eyes, head and eyes. Turn it off, please. Turn it off. Thank you. Good, head and eyes. Not bad, not bad. Good, head and eyes. Hold that turn. Hold it. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Good, head and eyes. Beautiful. Good, head and eyes. Keep the clutch open, clutch, clutch, head and eyes up. Head and eyes up. You're looking at the ground the whole time. job. Head and eyes up. Hold that turn. Good job, man. Very nice. He's looking really good on that DCT GO wing. Good, keep that speed up. Head and eyes up, you're looking at those cones. Yeah, next time, head and eyes up. Good job. Good, keep that speed up. Head and eyes. Keep the clutch open. Head and eyes on me. On me. Why did it drop?
I lost power.
Pull the clutch in. All right. Clutch, clutch, clutch. Reload. Smooth stop. Oh, smooth stop. All right, straight through. Head nice. Straight through. Oh. All right, straight through. Keep that throttle loaded on that U-turn. Good, pulling the clutch a little bit. Keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Too much speed. I'll take it. Too much speed, man. Too much speed. All right, U-turn. Pull the clutch in a little. Head nice. I don't care, you're working it out. That's all I care about. All right, U-turn, straight through. Good, head and eyes, rear brake, rear brake. Good, hold that turn. Beautifully done. Beautiful. Nice, straight through. Head and eyes. Nice. All right, nice stop. Good, head and eyes. Keep it on me, stay in the friction zone. On me. Clutch, clutch, clutch. As soon as you looked at me, clutch in. As soon as you looked at me, you pull that clutch right in. Smooth stop. Nice. straight through. Good, commit to the lean, commit. Rear brake, rear brake. Hey Jason, you're not committing to that lean right away.
Okay.
And you're looking at those out cones, you're going right to them. Head and eyes on me. Stay in the friction zone. Good, head and eyes. All right, straight through. Stay in the friction zone. Head nice. Keep it loaded. Straight through. Reload. Throttle's too low. Smooth stop. Over here. Head and eyes. Take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Yeah. Good, come to a smooth stop over here. Good, head and eyes, lean it over. Clutch. Preload, it's too low. All right, take a break. Clutch. Beautiful stop. Give me another one. Clutch. Beautiful. Oh man.
Oh no, that's 30 now. That's 30. Front brake, yep.
Smooth stop over here.
Over there.
Smooth stop. All right, take a break. You're still coming out at too much speed. Smooth stop. U-turns look great. And nice. Clutch. Take a break, man. Good job. All right, smooth stop over here. Head and eyes on me when you make the turn. Head and eyes. I know. Smooth stop. All right, take a break. Nice. Smooth stuff. Head nice. Very nice, but your head's like this the whole way. Gotta get those head nice turns. Take a break. Smooth stop over here. Good stop here. Head nice on me. Very nice. Nice. Take a break. Smooth stop. Easy on that stop. Right now you're turning the handlebars, then turning your head. Head nice, handlebars. Take a break. Nice stop. Give me another one here. Keep that clutch where it is. Good, head nice, rear brake. Take a break. Nice stop. You got to keep that preload up. Stay in the friction zone. All right, smooth stop over here. Head nice. Keep it loaded. Friction zone. Smooth stop. Take a break. All right, guys, so today is Sunday. It's the next day, and it's the beginning of Sunday's practice session. But unfortunately, I had to prematurely end today's practice session, and it was because the heat. And I don't know if anybody else was affected, but I know I was. And this is the second time this has happened to me. I was lightheaded. I was seeing spots. My breathing was labored, and I know when I get like that from the last time it happened in Pula, and I was like, let me just sit in the car for a while, get some air conditioning, and then I was like, all right, guys, let's go, even though I know I still don't feel 100%. And in Pula, they were like, that's it, Rob. It's enough. We had enough today. And I just want to thank everybody that participated in today's practice session, because that's pretty much what it was. They were like, Rob, that's it, man. Your health is more important. And we got a good amount in. We started at 9. We ended at about 1. And we got all the way up to 6. Even in that exercise, you can see, I'm talking about the U-turn exercise, I was labored. Like I couldn't yell really, because I felt like it was taking a lot of energy from me. Woo, I'm telling you guys. But anyway, guys, it is what it is. Things don't always go as planned. But again, I want to thank them just for looking out for me. Again, I want to thank Gator Ford for looking out for us, allowing us to use this facility again. It's just always a joy to come here, guys. As I always say, I feel like they roll out the red carpet for me here at Gator Ford. So again, big shout out to Mike. Happy birthday to Mike. Happy birthday to Rich. Rich participated in the practice session here in March. And Rich is always the first one out here to make sure I can get in here, make sure I have ice, make sure I have drinks for all of you guys. So it's just awesome. I love coming here for a lot of different reasons, man. I just feel like family here. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Hit that like button. That helps me out as well. Share these videos. It's very important, guys. But that's happening, right? The word is getting out. And that's a good thing, because the more people that we have practicing on their motorcycles, the safer we're going to be as a whole in the motorcycle riding community. Spend more time being thankful for the things that you have, guys, and less time complaining about the things you don't. And remember, it's not about being the best, but it is about being the boss. And I'm talking about being the boss of your motorcycle. Seat time doesn't equal practice time, guys. And if you have time to ride your motorcycles, you have time to practice on them. That's not my opinion. Until next time.